Hello everyone, my name is Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Paranormasight, the 7 Mysteries of Honjo. Last episode, we continued on with Yako's storyline for a bit, and we got to a scary part, looked like maybe her and Mio were in danger. And it ended that section, so I decided to follow through on what said I was going to do, and I went to begin Tetsuo's section. So it may be a little confusing, but that's just the way I want to do it. So we got to talk to his partner June about the case that they're investigating, where a nice cop who was a friend of June's was murdered, and it's looking like he was killed by a curse stone. So interesting. Let's talk more. We could talk more about the victim first.
Hajime was quite the bad boy in school, apparently. He ended up with the police a lot. He said the officer in charge was good to him, helped him get back on track. The reason he wanted to become a cop was to pay his kindness forward. Said it was the first time he ever took his studies seriously.
That's a good story. Love that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've seen it before in movies and anime. It always gives you a good feeling, but then sometimes it leads to a sad ending or whatever too. So, I'm sure it happens in real life. I'm sure there's plenty of good cops out there who help some people out and pay it forward and all of that. But it's so rare to hear about that these days, isn't it?
Makes me want to have a drink in his honor.
Please don't make fun of my dead friend.
Hey, I said in his honor. You should aspire to become the kind of cop people miss when they die in the field.
You say that like it's a sure thing I'll die.
Don't do that. Don't trigger death flags, please.
Besides, if I end up biting it, I'm sure you'll be the one who misses me most, boss.
No, stop. I'm worried. I'm worried about our sidekicks now. I'm worried about Mio. I'm worried about Edio. Come on. Please don't do this. I'm worried about Richter, too. Like, damn. All of our sidekicks, are they all in danger?
Eh.
Come on, don't be like that. You'll hurt morale.
Look at his face. He makes a lot of faces.
Well, I guess how much I'll miss you depends on how this investigation goes.
I can already see it. Ario, no! Why'd you have to go and get yourself killed?
Stop triggering death flags, please! Even if you're joking, it's like, come on.
I have no idea what's going on in that head of yours.
Yeah, that'll be a sight to see. I can't wait.
You'll be dead, so you won't get to see it. What are you talking about?
You can't wait for your own death? Get it together, kid. Sheesh, you really are something.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys are cute, but I'm worried, so please stop.
Well, it is our duty to get to the bottom of a suspicious death, especially one involving an officer.
Okay, are we finally done with that? Yeah.
What about the victim's family?
The Yoshimi family is from Kita Senju in Adachi City, but Hajime's parents died a long time ago. He lived there all alone, no siblings or anything. I went to his house a few times for drinks. I was surprised. It's this huge, old-looking place. Like, you know, the kind of place that seems super haunted.
And he lived there alone?
It looked like the home of an old noble family. It was hard to imagine him being such a delinquent living in a house like that.
There's that bias I was talking about. If he's from an old family, I'm sure things were complicated.
That's a bias, too. He never talked about any of that, even when we were drunk, so I don't know much about it. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah?
Hajime was engaged. He'd been seeing his fiancée ever since they were in high school, over 10 years. They just started talking about getting married.
Aw.
What was her name again? He showed me a picture once. She was a beautiful woman.
That's so. How terrible for her. but she may know if there had been anything going on with him lately. We should speak to her.
Yeah, his fiancée may have been his only confidant.
Confidant. Why did I say that? Weird.
I'm sure someone at the Sumida Police Department has already contacted her. I'll look into it tomorrow.
Will we get to tomorrow? Because I don't know. Alright, anything else?
Hey boss. I looked into the case that Hajime was running.
Oh, great. That's the kind of stuff I want to know. What was Hajime working on the day he died?
Well, according to his report from the day before, he had 2 cases involving juveniles.
Uh-huh.
The first was the suicide of a high school girl who jumped off a building in Kamezawa last week.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that.
The girl's name was Michio Shiraishi. She was a 2nd-year student at Komagata High School. But it seems as though Hajime had had contact with her even before this incident.
Yep.
So she'd been troubled for some time.
That's the thing. About a month ago, he happened to see her walking around town. She looked upset, so he struck up a conversation with her.
Nice guy, just doing his job, trying to help out. He pays the price for it.
He was sure there was something bothering her, but she wouldn't tell him what.
Must have been trouble at home.
That's what he thought too. It seems he visited her home and spoke to her parents, but they said there was no problem, so there was nothing else he could do. And now she's dead.
Then it's possible he could have prevented her suicide then.
He must have been devastated. And that's why he was looking into this Michio Shiraishi again. He must have thought that something terrible had happened that drove her to end her life. But ultimately, he never reported the findings of his investigation.
I see. And you're thinking that it may have had something to do with his death. We'll have to find out what it is Hajime discovered.
Right. Let's check with the Sumida Police Department about that tomorrow, too.
Okay. Still? Gosh, lot to say, huh?
And what was the other case he was working?
This one is also related to a Komagata high school. A high student.
Oh, this is different.
A troublemaker named Hitomi Okuda. She seems to be the leader of a group of kids who get up to no good.
Huh. Juvenile delinquency. Fun.
She was pretty bad for a while. Multiple charges of destruction of property, assault and battery, you name it. Hajime had been working with her for about 6 months and she finally started to open up. Then he met with the girl the day he died.
Well, every school's got its problems. But I'm sure he'd be worried about how she'd get on without him.
Right, just when she'd finally found an adult she could trust.
Yeah, that's sad.
She might act out without someone to help her get through this.
We'll have to make sure the Sumida Community Safety Bureau does their job. But
Huh?
we can't rule out the possibility that meeting with this delinquent girl had something to do with his death. Then we'll have to interview her too.
Yes, you're right. She may have been the last person to see him alive, after all. I'll ask Sumida to introduce us tomorrow. Though, who knows if they'll actually let us talk with her.
That's what we hired you for. Lay a little boyish charm on them if they need convincing.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd prefer me over a scary-looking old man like you, boss.
Watch it. I'm still your superior. You ought to act like you respect me at least.
Oh, I thought I was.
Ariel, no.
You were? Shit. Is that just how your generation speaks? You really are a new breed.
It's probably just me, actually.
Well, don't think you can get away with that with other people.
So anyways, boss.
Were you even listening?
They're funny. Oh, don't die, Edio. When I like someone, I'm like, oh no, they're gonna die, aren't they?
We've got quite a bit to look into tomorrow. First, the 2 Komagata High School cases that Hajime was handling. And we need to speak with his fiancée as well. I believe that's it for tomorrow.
Alright. Alright, we don't need to read all that, right? Oh, no. Looks like there's more. Dang nabbit. Okay. Body found, former Yasuda Gardens. Estimated time of death 2 days prior at approximately 11 a.m. Uh-huh. Weird for someone to die at 11 a.m. with maybe a curse stone. Cause of death, acute heart failure, cause unknown. Signs of a struggle found at the scene. Efforts to locate witnesses underway. Body discovered by groundskeeper. Currently investigating the fiancé of the deceased and 2 female students from Komagata High School that the deceased had contact with as persons of interest. Okay. Got it. Cause of death.
As for the cause of death, we won't know until the autopsy is done. From what we've seen, though, it appeared to be some kind of acute heart failure. But since he had no record of chronic illness and had no visible wounds, it's possible that poison or drugs could have been involved.
Dying in the middle of the park like that certainly seems suspicious.
We found signs of a struggle at the scene, as well as footprints belonging to an unidentified individual. We've got people trying to identify those prints.
If we can find out who they belong to, we might be able to figure this whole thing out.
Yes, wouldn't that be nice if that were the end of it? The only things Hajime had on him were his badge and his wallet in his pockets.
So we can rule out a mugging. Though there probably aren't as many people who think to try mugging a cop as big as him.
I've also heard that Hajime got into a fair few fights in his younger days. He started judo once he became an officer and rose up the ranks quickly.
Sounds like the perp would have had to have been pretty strong to take on Hajime.
Or they use supernatural means. Okay.
Time of death was around 11 p.m. 2 days ago. Outside of the park's operating hours, of course. His body was found early in the morning yesterday.
11 p.m., the day before yesterday. What was Hajime doing out here at that time in the first place?
That's the question, isn't it? The entrance to the park is closed after hours, but it's a small gate that'd be fairly easy for him to get through if he really wanted to. That would, of course, be breaking and entering, but what do you think, boss?
Came here to hide something. I don't think we have any evidence for that. Makes sense if someone called him here.
It's hard to imagine a cop like Hajime would trespass for no reason. And since it seems like someone else was here with him, could they have called him here?
Oh, that does seem likely.
They must have been talking about something pretty sensitive to come here in the middle of the night. So Hajime met someone here to discuss something in secret.
And then they got into a fight?
No, that wouldn't match the cause of death. There were no wounds on the body that would indicate a spontaneous scuffle. The perp must have planned something.
Then you think it was meditated?
Wait, meditated? Premeditated, I'm sure. I've never seen meditated on its own without pre, so that's strange.
That would mean they called Hajime to the park with the intent to kill him.
Well, there's still the possibility that it was just some kind of accident. Maybe the perp tried to threaten Hajime and things went south from there. We should be able to get a clearer picture once we know exactly what killed him.
Right.
Okay. Anything else new? No. Okay. Just keep talking. Okay, about our character.
But either way, I'm so glad you're back in the First Division, boss. I've always admired your work. You were like a god to me. You were the whole reason I became a detective in the first place.
Yeah, about that. People have been saying that ever since you first entered the academy, but...
Yes, that's because it's true. I couldn't believe you got transferred out of the first just as I was assigned to it. So getting to work a case like this now, just the two of us, is a dream come true.
Oh, he's adorable, fanboy. Happy as I am to hear that, well, how should I put it? It's a bit creepy.
What is it?
If that's true, I'm not sure you've been showing me the appropriate amount of respect,
Right?
Huh? But I do respect you. Don't tell me you're going senile, boss.
See, that's what he means. Why are you you say you revere him, but then you insult him in the same breath? Elio, come on, man.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, when you run your mouth like that.
It's getting late. You must be sleepy, 'cause you're old.
You're so ageist, Elio. Why? Why are you like this?
Don't worry, boss. I'll make sure we get out of here soon.
He's such a he's like a lovable idiot. Completely.
Yeah, I get it. I give up.
Oh, there's no correcting this behavior. Oh.
I've been wowed by your shrewd detecting abilities all day today.
Oh, really? Funny. I've been wowed by you too, in a different way.
Okay.
On the topic of family, what's yours like, boss?
The hell's wrong with you? Prying into my personal life all of a sudden.
What do you mean on the topic of family?
It's just, I've never heard you talk about them or anything. Oh, are you single?
Shut it. That's none of your business.
Well, ever since I joined the force, I've been thinking. The department really pressures young officers to get married.
Why?
I wonder why that is. You don't say anything like that, though.
How should I know? I caved to the pressure myself and got married 20-some years ago.
Huh? So then...
God, you're relentless. She took our daughter and left 4 years ago. Thanks for reminding me.
Aww. Divorced and he has a daughter. Are you close to your child? Do you still get to see her? Or are you distant and separated and sad?
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't believe she'd give up a guy like you.
Are you hitting on him? Or is this just admiration? But, my brain's like... Bink, stop. Why do you like this? Why you always gotta ship guys just because they're maybe a little bromance or a little flirty in certain contexts? I will never be normal. I'm sorry, y'all.
I was never home much, too focused on work. I'd come home late, only to get called right back out again. Plus, being a cop is dangerous work. I don't blame her for getting fed up with it all.
How sad, especially when you're out here putting your life on the line. Oh, is that why you transferred out of the first?
I guess so.
It was already too late by then. You better be careful, Edio.
You say that, but there's not much I can do, is there? That's the nature of our job.
Stop with the death flags, please.
There aren't many who can really understand it. Not unless they're involved with police work themselves, or related to someone who is. But wait, you have a daughter, boss? How old is she?
You really think I want to talk about her after all that? Have some sense.
Come on, I promise I don't mean this the way it sounds, but how old is she?
Jeez, you don't know when to quit, do you? At least try not to look so intrigued.
Oh no. Is he like, can I marry your daughter?
She's a bit rough around the edges. I think most men are intimidated by her.
Oh, good for her. Good for her. You raised her well. She's a tough cookie. How old is she? Is she like in her teens or 20s?
Last I heard, she's living by herself and going to college.
Oh, good for her. Hope you're proud.
Wow, a college student. Men love an educated lady.
Stop that. What kind of cop are you making baseless assumptions like that?
She's living on her own though, huh? You must worry about her.
Worry? I don't even know where she lives.
Oh, she hasn't told you. Probably because she knows you'll follow her around everywhere.
Protective Papa.
I would not. I don't think.
Uh-huh, you totally would.
Come on now, we both know that's not true.
Listen here.
You may look like a mean old man, but you sure have a soft side. Daddy's little girl, huh?
What? Is that supposed to be a compliment? I can't keep up with you. We're done talking about this.
Oh, he's like a tsundere. It's cute. More about him. Yay! Let's never stop pestering this guy.
Oh, that reminds me. If you got married 20 years ago, it must have been right around the Nejima murder.
Why are you bringing this up?
You know your history. Yeah, that happened a year or two after our wedding.
You were the one who arrested the killer, weren't you?
Ah, interesting. So he is connected to Haraway in this way. Very intriguing.
We studied that case at the academy. I was only in elementary school at the time, but I still remember people talking about some dangerous criminal getting arrested.
All of that was just cracking the case, finding the guy. It was all just happenstance.
Yeah.
I'd really rather not think about it. It was a disturbing case. Did it not make your skin crawl when you learned about it at the academy?
It did. We were all terrified.
Sounds about right. No one could believe that such a mild-mannered man could have committed such a terrible murder. If we had overlooked one little thing, we may never have caught him at all.
I think I remember hearing there was only one charge brought against him in the end.
That's right. We didn't have the evidence. I knew there was no way such a meticulously planned crime could have been there first, but we may have stuck Fumachika Nejima in a cell, but it was no victory. He always had the upper hand. And all the damage he did to everyone involved, especially the victim's classmates. It's already been 20 years, huh? Damn it. This is why I try not to think about it.
I'm sorry.
Kind of random that you brought that up, but it's interesting and important to know that he was the one who arrested the guy. About the occult.
So all this occult stuff, have you heard about it, boss?
What are you talking about?
This rite of resurrection thing that everyone's talking about.
No, not you too. I've been hearing about that shit everywhere.
Oh, you have? That's surprising.
Who cares what people are talking about? It's got nothing to do with our job.
But don't you think the occult stuff with this case feels, I don't know, realer somehow? The whole thing started right here in Honjo in Sumida City, so I thought that maybe...
Cut it out. Nothing good can come of getting involved with that rite of whatever, or that record of fates.
Record of Fates? I don't remember that term.
Sounds like you know all about it. Boss, are you secretly into the occult?
Stop that. Seriously. This isn't a joke. I get why you'd be intrigued by something called the Rite of Resurrection after a buddy of yours died, but bringing the dead back to life? That's the stuff of fantasy. It's not real. So don't go hoping for miracles, got it?
Please, we don't want you to get stuck with a curse stone. Oh, yay, it's over. I like it, but sometimes I'm like, God, these conversations last forever. I think the issue I have with this format is that we have to keep going back into a subject. Like, why can't we just click it once, get through all the dialogue about it, and then move on to the next subject? I don't know if they did that so that people could take breaks and like save in between, because maybe they get a little bored or whatever. It's just a little strange, I guess. Just my opinion.
Well, boss, I think that about does it.
Right, let's call it for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, God. Wait, if Tsutsumi is seeing it, how is it that we are gonna get the curse stone then? Unless somebody's attacking us? Whoa, that looks creepy.
Oh god, what is that?
Huh? Boss? What's wrong? Don't tell me you're going senile.
Here I thought Edio would be the one to get it. But considering that Tsutsumi's the character we're playing as, I guess it makes sense that he gets it. Interesting. But who would he want to resurrect? That's the big question. Because he's not personally connected to the cop who died, so I don't know.
Damn it, it was that case all along.
Wait, I can't read. Something full? The true lie, it is no rumor, believe me. See the truth? Do not be fooled?
Boss, what is it? Is there something over there?
Ah! Such deep sorrow. A resentful memory flooding into my mind.
Something about falsehoods, deceived, hung up forever in eternal darkness. Kill them. Kill them. Those who spread lies. Oh. Kill them all. You have acquired the power of the cursed stone, the evergreen beach. You can use it to kill those who intentionally try to mislead you. Oh, when someone lies to you. Uh-oh, that's a pretty juicy one to have. Especially for a cop. Alright. I'm surprised that this one has to do with lying, though? An enduring superstition, Evergreen Beach. Once upon a time in North Ukurabashi, a beautiful beech tree stood in the garden of Lord Shinden's residence, now known as the former Yasuda Gardens. It was so impressive that the house became known among the people as the beach residence. Somehow, no one had ever seen a single leaf fall from the tree. As rumors spread of the eternally green tree, it became known as the Evergreen Beach. However, this particular species of tree was actually an evergreen, so the lack of fallen leaves was nothing out of the ordinary. This had led people to say that the strangest part of this legend is the fact that it even became a legend at all. I'm surprised that that has to do with lying. I guess the fact that they're lying that it was an eternal tree when it's not. Ooh, that ghost looked freaky. Is that a tongue? What is that? That looks gross, y'all. Curse power. Kills by hanging one who tries to mislead the curse bearer with false statements. Oh, snap. We gonna be hanging people, y'all. Alright. Here's the memory. He deceived us with his so-called rite of resurrection. The man who tricked the people with his false dark arts swings from a rope. They thought the man had escaped the previous night, but oddly enough he was found hanging in the garden of the daimyo's mansion that morning. The man, a local named Jinkichi, was known for his kind temperament and skill in crafting Netsuke clasps. Netsuke clasps? Like the actual curse stones, maybe? I don't know. While his life wasn't always easy, he was optimistic, the type to smile through whatever life threw at him. He was the kind of man who would take care of those who didn't have anyone else to rely on. The prosperity that the ukiyo-e boom brought must have been what fanned the flames of his greed. The old craftsman was found in a miserable state as a sentence to some cruel fate. Perhaps he'd ended his own life, unable to bear the weight of his crime, but dead men tell no tales, and the people thought of him as a bad man, even in death. He hung there for days, till his neck stretched horrifically. Ugh. Wait, I thought that was his tongue that was... Oh, I guess he does have a long neck? Jeez. His neck stretched horrifically, a visage of pain still etched on his face. It was clear he must have struggled greatly as he died, his flesh marked with dark scars where the rope wrapped around his whole body. His whole body? There's no way he did it to himself, then. The beech tree's leaves do not fall, and neither did the man's body hanging from it, as the mansion's owner was not at home. Another unfortunate event. The people held their tongues, fearing divine punishment, but the rumors persisted nonetheless. Interesting.
Ugh. A murderous impulse seeps into my soul like thick black tar.
Hung up forever in eternal darkness. Now, kill. Can you hear it, curse bearer? You who so strongly desires the right. Kill them.
Interesting.
Boss! Boss! Boss, what's the matter? Don't tell me you really went senile.
Sorry. I'm fine. Ariel,
Yes.
I have some bad news.
Oh no, your
Why do you keep talking about this? You're so ageist. Stop it.
your senility is kicking in, isn't it?
No, we've got a bit of trouble on our hands. Looks like we'll be working some overtime. I'm not going home tonight.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Interesting. All right. Perfect. I noticed that these sections seem to pretty much end themselves at perfect times sometimes for an episode. Alrighty then. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am intrigued. We're definitely going to continue on with the hunt for the Curse Bearers Part 1 in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying this, and until next time, have a nice day. Bye!